Yeah, hi, I'm Paul. That's paularch.com. Now, we've talked about scarcity many times before, haven't we? When it comes to selling any kind of product, if you can make the customer or the client feel that your product is scarce, then they will probably want it more. It's psychology. It comes from Robert Cialdini's principles of influence, scientific principles. Scarcity is brilliant. We know about scarcity. I've talked about it many times before. And if you make things scarce, people will want it. Now, the problem with scarcity is that you may not have a product that is scarce. So you might be selling something that you want to sell more of. And more clients now are starting to beef up their prospecting. They're trying to increase their business levels that I'm working with. GDPR has been a big issue here, actually. Many clients have relied upon email prospecting, which of course has been knocked on the head with GDPR. So scarcity is fine until you are desperate to fill the gap or to sell your product. Now, desperation's horrible. Let's put that one up there for you. Desperation. I've seen it many times in salespeople. Desperation. A salesperson, for example, is under the cosh by their manager. They're under targets. They're not achieving their targets. They're put under a bit of pressure. You've got to get out there. You've got to get some new business. The salesperson starts to feel the pressure. Pressure forces you down, doesn't it? It makes you feel bad. It doesn't make your brain work very well, and you start to get desperate for business. You can smell desperation. All tactics are out the window. The salesperson's desperate for the business, will start to close, push, overcome objections, and it's not nice at all. Now, desperation is fine, but what you want to do is look at a way of handling this. If you are desperate for business, how you can do it. Now, I was in Stowe-on-the-Wold at the weekend, and we passed this restaurant with rooms for rent upstairs. And Stowe-on-the-Wold is a tourist town in the Midlands, lovely part of the world, Cotswolds. And they had this sign outside, which I wanted to show you. It's really good. I'll put it up on the video so you can see it clearly. And I'll keep it still as possible. That's the sign. Let's zoom in so you can get to look at that really clearly without losing the light. Now, you'll notice that it's a billboard outside the property. And it says there quite clearly, the old stocks in Stowe-on-the-Wold. Looks nice, doesn't it? You're not going to believe it. We have a room free tonight. They've obviously got a cancellation. They're desperate to fill it, rather than telling customers, get a free 50% off, or we're desperate to fill this room. Go on hotels.com, get the last deal. They've actually made it as though it's scarce. Isn't that clever? You're not going to believe it. We've got a room available. We've actually got a room. We've never had this before, like in years. We've got a room available. Therefore, you can come along and rent it. Probably at full price as well. They're not going to do a deal on that one. I thought it was really clever. How, therefore, can you make something where you are desperate to fill the business and you want to make it as scarce as possible? So that's a clever way of doing it. So think about your own product or service. If you're really keen to sell it, of course you are. You're quite desperate, but can you make it scarce? Can you make it as though it's scarce rather than being desperate? And that's a great way of selling and improving your results. So that's been useful.